You're welcome back, and you're still watching Newsnight. We're live from Nigeria's capital in Abuja. I'm Christian Ogodo. Thanks for staying with us. The controversy surrounding the salaries and allowances of Nigeria's federal lawmakers resurfaced after former President Olusegun Obasanjo accused them of fixing their own salaries and even receiving some special packages from the presidency. Remuneration of lawmakers has been contentious for a long time, and the latest statements from Obasanjo have seen both chambers of the National Assembly defending themselves and explaining that their salaries are fixed by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RAMFAC. Despite this, the salaries and allowances of the federal lawmakers is continued to spark wide public outcry. The condemnation comes at a time when Nigeria grapples with economic challenges, with general sentiment that it is unacceptable for the government to ask citizens to make sacrifices while their elected representatives earn and live in affluence. Well, joining us now to discuss this controversy is Senator Elisha Ishiaku Abbo, who is was a member of the Senate for 5 years. Very warm welcome to Newsnight, distinguished Senator Abbo. Now, 5 years in the Senate and the issue of remuneration, in fact, since the advent of democracy in 1999, is still ongoing. Nigerians wonder, why would their representative, be earning millions of naira monthly? You want to confirm or deny that?
Well, like you have seen the breakdown of what lawmakers earn cumulatively. Cumulatively means your vehicle allowance, which was put bit by bit into your remuneration for the whole 4 years, it is added there. They don't pay you at once. They have put it there, your accommodation, because the houses that was built.
But we are aware that lawmakers from 1999, you are given official cars almost for free. It's only, even when the lawmakers don't return, that, they auction such cars to them. So why the car allowance again, when you've already gotten 160 million naira worth of Jeep?
Well, you could have allowed me to first of all land before you load the second bullet. Because it's like your cannon is already loading. Cumulatively, when I was in the Senate, cumulatively, all the allowances put together was 14.4 million naira per month.
Okay.
My salary was 1.something million naira. You have wardrobe allowances, you have your vehicle allowances, you have other allowances put together. It was 14.4 million naira.
Okay, these are the allowances, and your salary was
1 million.
Let's just say 1 million.
Well, yes.
So each senator, during your time then, would go home with 15.4 million.
14.4 million.
No, plus your 1 million naira.
No, including
salary.
that,
okay,
including it to be 14.
Okay, that's fine. 14.4 million.
Yes.
Today, the case is different.
Yes.
It's about how much?
It is about 29 million now.
29 million.
Yes.
In this austere Nigeria.
I will come to that.
Okay,
now,
go on.
Now, 29 million looks big on paper.
Just on paper.
Just on paper. I am saying this as a very honest man. I am not trying to support National Assembly, an institution so vilified, and I have been a member of that vilified institution for 5 years. I am not siding with them, but I will bear the facts on the table.
Openly, very quickly, but you are
Now,
happy with the humongous money, right?
It is not humongous.
Just on paper.
It
Go
is
on.
just on paper.
Okay.
When I was in the Senate, my monthly salaries and allowances put together was about 14.4 million naira.
Yes.
And at the end of the month, the company I founded, which I was the managing director and the chief executive officer, when I won election, I had to leave the company to go into governance. Had to start subsidizing my own life, because the money that was coming or allocated to my office was 14 million, which was nothing, absolutely nothing, considering the demands, the want, the challenges faced by my own constituents on a daily basis. Now, let me put it this way.
What are they demanding?
Somebody will come and tell you today his wife is sick, he is sick, his children cannot pay school fees, he's in the hospital. I have a case that on that one person alone I took the hospital, I spent 14 million naira on one person. And every month, from all over Adama State, in fact, at a point, from all over the country, my office is besieged with people looking for help. At a point, I don't like calling people's numbers. I don't like visiting people.
Isn't it?
And
You definitely will go on.
Yes.
But
at a point, I had to start calling some state governors to help me with cases that is being brought from their state into my office. Now I have 14 million naira a month. And I am paying a lot of people's scholarship in my office. I am subsidizing people's life in my office. While a state governor in this country is going home with over 700 million naira security vote every single month, minimum. Some go home with 1 billion naira.
The state governors, they put it in their pockets, right?
No, I didn't say put in their pocket.
Yeah. You said they go home.
Yeah, of course, they go home with it to do other security issues. I can't say they put it in their pocket. That would be very, very, very bad.
Look, the political elite,
Yes.
let's put it pronto, the
Yes.
political elite have taken governance and development far away from the people. In other democracies,
Yes.
let's take some of the older democracies like
Yes.
the US.
Yes.
Where do you see the constituents
Yes.
besieging their senators or their House of Representative members to beg for money that they cannot pay school fees and the rest? And so therefore, the legislators will now overbloat their salaries.
Well,
governance and development have been taken far away from the Nigerian
I agree
people.
with you. Mr. Chris, I agree with you. Governor has been taken far away from the people. And that is where local government administration have to come to the fore. Before now, local governments were getting so much money. They were given contracts at the
Being
local government
squandered,
level.
before now, yeah.
Before now.
Yeah, they
Look,
were
a
doing
local
very
government
well.
chairman was a big man. He can give contract for construction of primary school, culvert, small art road, art dams, and the rest of it. Today, the governors have hijacked the local government system through a devilish thing called JAC, that's joint account. Being that today, there's no election in the local government.
Okay, let's quickly leave the local government issue,
But
because
you brought the issue
Nigerians
of
are
it.
really, I know. Nigerians are really, your duty
Yes.
is to legislate
Yes.
for the good governance
Yes.
of this country. And you're trying to justify today's salary of each legislator, 29 million naira. In the face of the asphyxiation Nigerians are going through. Sorry, it looks as if I'm beginning to raise my voice.
Yeah,
I'm only
please
just
raise the voice.
I'm just talking
I will
for
ask you
the
to off the mic. There's no mic here.
I'm just
Continue.
talking for the Nigerian people,
Yes.
really. 29. How justifiable is this in today's Nigerian economy with a salary, a minimum wage of 70,000 naira?
I think what the National Assembly should do is to create a fund, a particular fund in the office of our legislators, who are the representatives of the people, to take care of this kind of thing so it will not be lumped into their own salary. Let me say this on a live national television. I am poorer, much, much poorer as a man when I became a politician than I was before I became a politician.
Why didn't you resign and go back to your business?
Because I enjoy serving the people.
You could still serve them with your company.
But now, yes, that is the point, because you will get somebody in that may not be as passionate as I am. Now let me say this today, and go to my village and check this. As a senator, I live in a room and parlor in my village. I never built a house. In my hometown, my local government headquarters, I don't have a house. I live in my friend's house. My friend lecturer gave me a house. I live in it. In my state capital, Yola, I don't have a house.
You are exceptional.
Now, I am saying this on national television. If anybody in the world
you are one
can point out a house that I built, I was building a mansion before I became a senator. A 23-bedroom mansion with 9 parlors, with a swimming pool in the heart of Mubi. When I became a senator, I stopped it. I took over carrying people's burden, orphans, the vulnerable people. I took over. Their problem became my own problem. Sometimes when I see them, I weep. The conditions some human beings are living in. And you remember that God put this weight on your back. I cannot budge.
But being in government at that national level,
yes,
you had a state government, because the people you're talking about, your own constituents, for example, from your senatorial district, besieging you for one assistance or the other.
Yes.
What kind of discussions do you have with the Adama State governor when you were in the National Assembly, the governor of Adama State, for example?
We never had a discussion with my governor, because 3 months when I was elected into office, we fought. 3 months. We came on the same party. 3 months into office. On principles, we differed on principle. He might be doing his own right in his own way because he's not here to defend himself, and it will be wrong to talk about him when he's not here. But we disagreed.
He has the right to come and appear.
So
if he
3
wants
months, we parted ways. 3 months. In the next 1 year, I decamped to another party because I can't sit in the same room with him. And you know why? I don't like injustice meted against anybody. I'm a man that is straightforward. Once I'm not straightforward, I won't stay with him.
So you couldn't give him some advice on how for developmental projects, in the state to alleviate the problems of the people there?
Is it not strange to you that every year, have you been to Yola?
Very well.
River Benue passes right to the heart of Yola. And yet, in Yola, Adamawa State, 1 gallon of water is going for 200 naira, 1 gallon of water.
What a shame.
Now, River Benue passed through Adamawa, and government cannot provide drinking water for people in the 21st century in Nigeria. People are still dying from cholera and waterborne diseases. That is what I don't understand what other people are doing in power. Like I said, I received 14.something million naira for the past 5 years. In name, I was saving the money, but I was saving more subsidy of over 40 million from my office that are running something for me. That is the fact. It is not everybody in power that is a thief, Chris. It is not everybody. Some of us have this feeling and that conviction that whatever you gather in this life, you will end up inside your grave. Stop this primitive accumulation of wealth just because you want to feel you have money, which is just a state of your mind. If you have 10 billion naira in your bank, it's just a state of your mind. What will happen when you die? You go and there inside a room, a grave without an air conditioner, without a fan. You are covered with a sand. That is my mentality. And that's why I try to do what is right.
Let us just quickly look at one issue that you're very passionate about, because we'll be going live to the United States in a moment, to Pennsylvania, where former President Donald Trump is taking his campaign train there. Very quickly on the issue of subsidy, petroleum subsidy, the Dangote refinery, the brickbats and the rest. Is there really subsidy?
Yes, there is subsidy because before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to power, petrol was 160, 200 naira. In some places, 250. But when he assumed office, petrol now become an average of 700 naira, between 500 in some other place because of transportation cost that is built into the pump price. It became about 700 naira. So what happened was, I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not necessarily understand what is subsidy when he was not sworn in. And that's why he made that declaration that subsidy is gone. When he got into office, he realized that if he dare remove subsidy fully at that time, the country will burn. And that's why he subsidized the subsidy. Maybe he have it, but it's not fully removed. You will ask me, how do they pay when it's not in the budget? NNPC are still paying, and the other paying with other funds. Now, I want you to think, Chris, in Africa, only Libya and Algeria are not importing fuel in their country. The whole of Africa, only 2 countries are not importing fuel. Every other African country are importing fuel. Now,
why is that so?
Because we don't have refineries. Now look at our neighbors here. Petrol price, go to global petrol prices.com. Ghana, the price for petrol in Ghana is about 1,600 naira
Per liter.
per liter. Benin Republic, our neighbor here, north to north, 1,800 naira. Cameroon, here, that is my work. Cameroon, our neighbor, is about 2,100 plus for Cameroon. India and China that we do trading with them is about 2,000, 1,008 or thereabout. But in Nigeria, petrol price is 600 naira. What magic?
That's not true. With the present scarcity now at the pump price, the least you get, within the metropolis in Abuja is 750 naira.
Thank you.
When you start going to the outskirts, you get 980, 1,000.
Now we are still within that. When you say petrol subsidy was gone, it was hovering in between 650 to 700. Now, assuming it's still 1,000, let's even peg it at 1,000 because it says 750, right? Now let's peg it at 1,000.
It's still underpriced, right? It's still being subsidized.
Still, Cameroon, our neighbor, 2,000. Niger here, 1,900. Chad, our neighbor, now it's still on the high side. Now what I mean?
Senator Abbo, you know something? These countries you are calling, they are not in the big league players of oil producers. 1. 2, Nigeria has 4 massive refineries that have been comatose for more than 30 years. Do we have any excuse to be importing petrol?
No.
That's what, Nigerians are wondrous about.
Especially with Dangote now, who built a national asset for Nigeria.
Yeah.
Dangote refinery is not Dangote refinery. It's a national asset for Nigeria. And Nigerians and the government of the day, they should begin to look at Dangote refinery as a national asset and give it enough crude oil. Now, like I was saying before,
very quickly now,
petrol is still being subsidized heavily because if petrol subsidy is removed fully, petrol go up to maybe 2,500 naira in Nigeria, and that is why when the issue of the end bad governance protest came up, and I called my staff, I say, how can you help this government? It is not enough for us to continue to sit and begin to be opposing, and then at what government is doing, and we discovered that we can actually sell fuel in Nigeria for 400 naira by the end of this year. And by next year, petrol can be sold in Nigeria for 200 naira without paying subsidy for it. Meaning, you will save Nigeria the 9 trillion naira supposed subsidy they are paying now, and another 6.3 trillion naira for Nigeria. Meaning that in savings, you will save 15.3 trillion naira for Nigeria if the documents you work on it's implemented.
I'm
as a
sure,
way of looking for solutions.
I'm sure distinguished Senator Elisha Ishiaku Abbo, you'll be able to do a presidential memo to President Bola Tinubu on that, because I've seen the treatise that you've written.
Yes.
And thanks so very much for coming on Newsnight.